Hi, 5th graders. Today we're going to learn about scientific notation, missing minuet problems, multiplying decimals, and percent/decimals conversion. So let's get started. We're going to get started with scientific notation and we're going to do number 5 together. So for scientific notation, the only thing that you must remember is that there must be a number in front, only one number or digit in front of the decimal. And you also have to have a times 10 to the blank power multiplied to that decimal. So you'll understand what I mean as we go along with number 5. So let's get started. So for 95,000, the 0 is behind all numbers. It starts right here. And as I said before, there needs to be only one number in front of the decimal. So we're going to move it to the left however many times until we get only 9 in front of the decimal. So we're going to move it once, twice, 3 times, and 4 times. 4 times right here, right? Then we're just left with 9.5 right here. And you could choose to write the zeros, but you don't really have to. And then, as I said before, we need to include this times 10 to the blank. This should be a box. I don't want it to look like a negative. 10 to the blank. So we're going to put 9.5 times 10. And the exponent or power over here is decided by however many times you move to the left. And in this case, we moved 1, 2, 3, 4. We moved 4 times. So we're going to put the power as 4. So your final answer for number 5 in the scientific notation for 95,000 will be 9.5 times 10 to the 4th power. That's your final answer. Next, we're going to do missing minuet problems, and we're going to do number 9. So we're going to leave this little blank space as just x. We're just going to put a variable for it. So let's write it down. 33,008 minus x equals 32,159, right? Now we're going to get just x by itself. So we can just subtract 33. Or since we want the largest number to be positive, we're just going to add x over here. We're going to add x to both sides, add x. And then we're going to get 33,008 equals 32,159 plus x, right? Now we still need x by itself. We're going to subtract 32,159 to both sides. 32,159. Now we just get x over here, right? So when we subtract it, we should get 18, so 9, and then 9 right here, so 4, another 9, so 8, and then a 2 here. And the rest should be zeros. So x equals 849. That should be your final answer. And if you want to double check, you just need to plug in 849 into, you can just plug in, you could just add 32,159 and 849, and when you add them and you get 33,008, then you did the question correctly. So let's put a bracket around the final answer. X equals 849. Now let's do multiplying decimals. We're going to do number 1. We see that 7 is in front, but since 0.057 has more numbers, we're going to put it on top. And multiplying decimals is basically the same thing. It's just the same thing as multiplying regular numbers. You just need to pay attention to the number of decimals there are. So we're gonna multiply it by 7. So let's start off by doing it just regular multiplication. 7 times 7 is 9. So we're gonna put 4 up here. 7 times 5 is 35. 35 plus 4 is 39. And we bring the 3 here. And then 7 times 0 is just 0, so bring down the 3. And then 7 times 0 is just 0 again. Now, once we're done multiplying, we need to look at the decimals. As we see here, only 0.057 has the decimals, and we see that behind this decimal, there's 3 numbers, right? And in our product, our decimal starts here. So since one of our factors has 3 numbers behind the decimals, our product also needs to have 3 numbers behind the decimal. So we're going to move it until there's 3 numbers behind the decimal. So we move it once, and there's only 1 number behind the decimal. So we do it again. We did it twice, only 2 numbers behind the decimal, and we do it 3 times, and there's 3 numbers behind the decimal. So we're going to leave it right there. So our final answer should be 0.0, oops, that's not a point, 0.399. Now let's check our answer just to be sure. Yep, 0.399, and that's your final answer for number 1. Let's move on to percents and decimal conversions. So for this one, I chose 2 because it wants us to convert percents into decimals and decimals into percents. So we're going to do number 2 and number 7. Number 2 gave us, let's write number 2 for this one since we're doing 2, gave us 0.66. Now, for percents, when you're trying to turn decimals into percents, there's just a rule of just moving the decimal point twice to the right. So we do it 1, 2, and then we're just going to add a percent sign right there. So it's really easy to turn decimals into percents. It's just 66%, and that's your final answer for number 2. So you move to the right twice. Now, when you want to turn percents into decimals, this is the same thing. We could just take out the percent. It's the same thing as 17 point right there, like that. And when you want to turn percents into decimals, it's the opposite. You move to the left 2 points. So 1, 2. And our decimal point is right there. So our final answer for number 7 will be, oh, I'm sorry, I read the number wrong. It's 19%, not 17%. So as I said before, it's the same thing as just 19 point right there, right? And then we're going to move it to the left 2 times, 1, 2. And your answer will be 0.19. It's a very easy rule to remember, but I'll write it down just in case. So percent, oops, it's not writing. Percent to decimal is moving to the percent to decimal is move right 2 places. Then as for decimals into percents, oh, I'm sorry. No, that's right. Move right 2. No, it's move left, I'm sorry. Ooh, I'm getting confused. Move left 2 places. And then decimals to percent is move right 2 places. Let's bold those. Left, right. Right? Because we moved it right here, and we moved it left here. And that's just the basic rules for conversions within percents and decimals. And that's all I have for you guys today. I hope this helped you guys.